Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. And that was a bunch of camp footage from somewhere in New Mexico near Albuquerque. I don't know, since this is Memorial Day weekend coming up, it made me think about summer camp like activities. So I have no information about this except what was written on the can, which says it's Camp Gallagher. I'm sure that the tone of it was mentioned in the comments about smashing watermelon, so you guys knew that. All right. There were some notes about the different shots that were on there, and there was mag audio, but we didn't have a way to get the mag off with the scanner that I use. But we have another scanner that I might go back and rescan it just to see what's on there. So I scanned a bunch of films yesterday, and most of these came from the Basement Film Collection, which is based in Albuquerque. So as part of that, there were some school films, obviously that Camp Gallagher footage must have been at a school. But there's also the Christian Film Library that we have been showing films from, and these are fascinating. Here's a talent for Tony. What is that talent? Let's find out. Enjoy.
I put your clothes on your bed for you, so as soon as you finish eating, I want you both to get dressed. Oh, and Mike, your room looks like a cyclone hit it. Would you please straighten it up for me this morning?
Okay. Mom, can I go down to the floor with you?
No, honey, I have to go down early to get your father's painting. But you can come down with him as soon as he's ready.
Okay.
Well, how much do I owe you, Harry?
That'd be 42 cents, including tax.
Okay.
Do you have a booth at the show today?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we do.
Oh, good. Well, maybe I'll stop by this afternoon and see you.
Well, good. I hope you do. There's
Yeah.
42 cents exactly.
Okay. Everything works out fine.
Fine.
Come on, Tony.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Harry. See you later.
Hey, Mom!
Bob,
Yeah?
did you find the right piece?
Yeah, I think it'll work.
Oh, good. Your breakfast is on the counter.
All right, I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, can you take the paintings out to the car for me now?
Mike, can you come down here and give me a hand?
Okay.
Tony, go get your breakfast. Look, take this painting and put it in the wagon.
Yeah, sure.
And be careful with it.
Okay. Mommy, take this one.
Yeah, take that one there.
Yeah. Bye, Mom.
Bye, sweetheart. Bob, have you seen my keys?
Yeah, I've got them right here.
Oh, listen, now try to remember to eat your breakfast, okay?
Okay.
Oh, and don't let the kids go out and play. They'll just get dirty.
All right.
And you clean your room.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Daddy, Daddy, when are we gonna go?
It'll be a while, and longer if you make a nuisance of yourself. Hey, wait a minute, young lady. Where are you going?
I'm going outside and play now.
Didn't your mother tell you to clean up your room?
It's all straightened out now. I don't know what to do.
Did you finish the breakfast dishes?
Uh-huh.
Then why don't you make something, Melinda? Come here. Now, here's some Crayolas. 2 pieces of paper.
What you doing? I'm gonna make a picture. Could I make one too? Can I have one more piece? 'Cause I'm older.
All right.
Thanks. Hey, what are you doing? Making a picture. Can I make one too?
Okay.
Can I have another one?
No, that's enough for right now.
Thank you. What are you going to make? An aquarium. Don't get so close. You'll make me goof. What are you making? A balloon man. What are you making? I'm not sure yet.
Red ones, pink ones, blue ones, orange, yellow, blues, balloons, 10 cents, only a dime. Hey, mister, how about a balloon? Balloon!
Hey, Mr. Balloon Man.
Hey, you want a balloon? What color?
Pink.
Do you have any money? Oh, dollar. Oh, dear. Oh, well. Have a nice trip. Bye-bye, little girl. Bye.
Hey, what have we here?
Pictures.
Why, let me take a look. Oh, boy, those are beautiful. Let me see that. That's terrific, honey. That's really nice. And what's this one?
A balloon man.
Oh, a balloon man. That's beautiful. Look at those beautiful balloons.
Yeah. Look at mine.
Oh, you got some too, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's really nice. Look at that. That's terrific. Hey, I like that aquarium. That looks just like our own aquarium. That's beautiful. Oh, boy, look at that one. Hey, that's terrific. How would you like to hang them with mine in the Festival of Art?
Can we, Dad?
Sure, I'll tell you what. You kids get ready while I get something to eat, all right?
Okay.
Oh, Melinda, where's Tony?
I don't know. I think he's in his room.
Okay.
We'll be in the car, Dad, okay?
Tony? Hey, Michael, is Tony in the car with you?
He's not here, Dad.
Hey, Tony, what's the matter? Tony, where's your picture?
Here's my paper. I was afraid I would do mistakes, so I didn't draw anything.
Tony, it'd be a bigger mistake if you didn't try. Come on, I'll help you. What would you like to draw?
How about a little boy with the lion?
Sure. How's that? Huh? Now you try it. That's good. Now you bring it around.
All right, now, come on. Slow down. You're either going to hurt yourselves or somebody else.
You'll go fine with anything, really. You can do it with just about. Didn't fit in any
Yeah.
kind of a room.
Hello, Bob.
Oh,
You
hi,
guys
Harry.
are all right.
Yeah?
This is right. I'm very glad to see you.
Harry, nice of you to come
Are you
by.
enjoying the festival?
It's great as always.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, I see the stretcher bar worked out all right.
Yeah,
for you.
worked out fine.
Tony, now that's enough running around. You sit right here.
What do we got here?
Oh, the children did these.
You know, I'm looking for something special to cheer up my room.
Well, that'll make you feel good. That's a whimsical picture. Tony did that, and it's a very special painting.
I don't see any price on it.
That one's not for sale.
Oh.
It's a very cheery painting. I'd like to commission you to do another one for me. How much would I have to pay?
Well, how about 2 free tunes and a gumball machine?
Well, it's worth a lot more than 2 nickels to me. Bob, I think this is the best festival of art we've ever had.
Oh my God. And I didn't see, I don't know if maybe I missed it. I didn't see anywhere animal handler in the credits. Or lion trained by whoever. And the kid is just like tugging on. Oh my gosh. So that one enters. There's a couple of films that I have that have kids being incredibly irresponsible around animals. There is the Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the Cornet film featuring live bears. And then there's, ironically, Safety with Animals has some really crazy footage of a kid tormenting a horse, where you're just like, that kid is going to get the crap kicked out of him by that horse, or at least the horse is going to like bite him on the neck, and then it's all over. So, wow. Talent for Tony. Wow. Whatever the message was, got blown away by the fact that there's a live lion in that guy's life. All right. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's slow it down. I've always had this theory that creative Christian people really ache to retell the birth of Jesus. And so there's all these, what I feel to be horrible stories that are tangential or parallel the story of Jesus' birth. We saw The Littlest Angel maybe a month ago, which is that horrible Cornet film, cloyingly bad Cornet film about an angel who is just a misfit little kid and how he is redeemed by his gift. There's the little drummer boy, and now there's this, when the littlest camel knelt. And it just clutters what is a pretty good story that's in the Bible with this kind of ego of like, I'm going to insert myself and retell the story the way that I want to, and it's going to be great. So when the littlest camel knelt. Enjoy.
And now, story of when the littlest camel knelt. Once upon a long, long time ago, in a far-off country, there lived a very little camel who was woolly in spots and curious all over. And the littlest camel's curiosity concerned kings. This small one, above all else, wanted to see a king. Cappy and Mogo, the bigger and the biggest camel, boasted often and loudly of carrying gold and precious jewels to kings' palaces. But the littlest camel carried only everyday things to everyday people, and he longed, oh so very much, to carry wondrous gifts to a king. Cappy and Mogo had that very night returned from seeing a king, none other than King Herod. But Mogo was very tired and also very cross. So the littlest camel just munched and listened while Mogo complained that the hay was tasteless and the stable was very uncomfortable after the delicious food they had been given in the grand palace stables they had visited. Mogo almost bit the littlest camel's head off when he questioned him. But the littlest camel understood and was very sorry that Cappy and Mogo were so tired. But he also thought it rather silly for a great big camel to be so grouchy. Just then, Balthazar, their master, came into the stable with two other wise men, Melchior and Gaspar. Their servants began loading great treasures on the bigger and biggest camels. They were to start at once on a long journey to Bethlehem with gifts for a very great king. And then, mind you, when the three wise men were ready to leave, Cappy and Mogo were too tired even to go see another king. But the littlest camel, he was not tired. If they would ask him, he would go. And would you believe it? They did ask him to go. Master Balthazar said that because the big camels were so tired, he would have to take the littlest camel too, and that they would have to leave immediately while they could still see the star that would guide them. My gracious goodness. Just think how wonderful it would be. Soon he would be treated as royalty, and he could eat sweet, sweet hay and sleep on the soft, soft straw in the palace stables. And he could not help thinking that maybe a great king, robed in silks and satins, with a golden crown upon his head, might pass real close to him. There would be lovely soft music everywhere. He knew, for he had heard Cappy and Mogo talking about the kings and their palaces. At long last, everything was ready. The gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and precious jewels were loaded on his willing little woolly back, and they started out through the gate of the city on their journey to far-off Bethlehem. He heard them say again as they started forth that a star of all things would guide them. He liked stars, but he thought it very foolish that a star could guide anyone anywhere, much less to a king. Just then he saw the star. A brighter and lovelier star than the littlest camel had ever beheld, and it shone ahead, leading the way. Around them the air was so soft and warm, and the littlest camel heard a light rustling of wings, as if many, many birds were close above them, or perhaps wings of angels. But as they journeyed on, the littlest camel learned that even precious burdens can become awfully heavy, though he didn't complain. He just followed the shining, silvery star bearing his load, importantly. After many, many miles, it seemed that they were not getting any closer at all, and the littlest camel was, oh, so very tired. As they plodded along, he remembered the palace the big camels had told him about, the great marble palace with the shining golden door. And there, sweet music would be everywhere, and great sparkling jewels, and he would see a king. Finally, they came to Bethlehem. But now the star was shining down upon a stable, a plain, everyday stable, such as the littlest camel had seen many, many times at home. The littlest camel supposed the star knew how very tired he was, and it paused to allow him to rest, for certainly this stable could never belong to a king. The littlest camel was so confused. This was nothing like what Cappy and Mogo had said it would be. He just rested on the soft sand and wearily looked at the beautiful star, and it seemed to comfort him. In the meantime, the wise men unloaded their gifts and carried them through a lowly door. But where was the palace? Where was the king? This was only a very poor stable. But the large camel stood very still, and the littlest camel decided he wouldn't ask them. He tasted the hay. It was not very good, and the straw was all scratchy beneath his feet. Maybe Cappy and Mogo had been fooling him about all these things. What were the wise men doing? He had just peeked to see. So quietly, carefully, he went forward and looked in the door. There was no king, only a baby, a tiny little baby in a beautiful woman's arms, and shepherds, everyday shepherds as he had seen many times before.
The
was a donkey, a wee lamb, and a kindly-looking old cow standing near, all quietly, reverently watching. And the littlest camel looked too. And all at once, there was something different about this baby. There appeared a wreath of tiny silver stars that shone softly about the baby's head. The littlest camel felt all glad and tingly inside, and his tiredness was all gone, swept away by the presence of this adorable baby. Then the wise men, kneeling, bent forward to place their gifts at the feet of the mother and child. And one by one, the animals bent their knees in reverence too. The littlest camel was very happy, and as he looked at Cappy and Mogo, they too seemed happier and more friendly. Suddenly, the hay seemed to become very sweet, and the straw as soft as thistledown. He heard the soft rustling of angels' wings, and there was music everywhere. Somehow, the littlest camel knew that this wee baby held for all the world joy, peace, and happiness. And when he saw all the others silently and reverently kneeling, the littlest camel wanted to show his feelings too. He wanted to kneel because he felt all worshipful. Very carefully, he bent his short little legs until he too was kneeling. And Cappy and Mogo, the bigger and biggest camels, were amazed when they saw that the littlest camel was actually kneeling. Ever since that long, long time ago, in that far, far off land, big and little camels have remembered, and to this day kneel in adoration, just as the littlest camel first knelt when he went to see a king.
Ugh. So I've done in the past shows called an AV Geeks Cheesy Christmas, and that would certainly fit. Just the message of it is just, it's just, ugh. All right. But they're Christian films, you know, and, you know, some people feel like they have to explain the story in some magical way to kids. So there you go. And I'm a product of Lutheran background where, yes, I was exposed to things like that. Ugh. All right, here's another Christian film. I think this one's more hip and it's made for adults. Wingate, I love you.
No one seems to care anymore. I just walk me out of the door. No one seems to listen. I wonder if they're missing me. Missing me. Oh, yeah. No,
Can I help you?
I'd like a ticket to Denver, please.
Okay. That'll be $32.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Why don't you watch where you're going?
I said I was sorry, okay?
Denver. Nice shot.
Yeah, thanks.
You're going to Denver too, huh? So am I.
Terrific.
You ever been to Denver before?
Yes, I've been to Denver. I was in Denver in 1963. When I was there, I got poison ivy and sprained my ankle. Okay?
For San Bernardino, Riverside, Indio, Blythe, Phoenix, Tucson, Las Cruces, El Paso, Albuquerque, Amarillo, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Joplin, St. Louis.
Gonna find a friendly greyhound that will take me out of this town. Oh, no more conversations with someone who just puts me down. Na 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 na. Oh, na 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 na. No more conversations with someone who just puts me down.
Sorry about flying off at you.
What do you want?
I said I was sorry for smarting off before. I'm in a bad thing. You ever been to Denver?
Here once, about a year ago.
Business?
You might call it that. I have a nephew up there. Pretty good kid, I guess. He gets in trouble. His folks split up, so I gotta go up and bail him out. About a year ago, he started running around with a really bad crowd. Got arrested, stealing. Not much, just shoplifting. I went up and tried to talk to him. Tried to straighten him out, but he didn't even want me around him.
You know better than to be in here, don't you?
Right, I'll be going.
I'll tell you where you're going. Back to Laytonville, if you don't get real smart, real fast. Dig?
What's wrong with kids today? Why won't they listen?
What's his name?
Wingate. Wingate Leroy.
Wingate? I'm sorry. But with a name like Wingate, no wonder he's in trouble.
You're the one with the snappy answers. Try this one on. See how sharp you are. What do I say to him when I see him in jail?
Why don't you go up to him with a big smile on your face and say, Wingate, I love you.
Why don't you watch your mouth?
Hey, you know something? If people your age weren't so afraid of words like love, maybe kids wouldn't be so messed up.
Oh, so now you're the expert on love. Man, I'm really lucky meeting you. I don't know how I got this far without your advice and guidance.
Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about, really.
So what makes you an expert?
'Cause for the last 5 years, it's been nothing but garbage at home. All we ever do is fight. You got to get your hair cut. We don't like your attitude. Oh, Man, all we ever do is yell. Nobody listens.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Sure. Call. Anytime you want to call. You need something. Who do you call? You call me. I ain't going to help you anymore.
Listen, I
you
don't
don't
wanna
stay out of
hear
trouble.
it. Get lost.
You're all the time.
Don't talk to your father like that. That's just rotten. That's just terrible.
You know, you never give me a chance to say anything.
Of course we do.
Oh,
but you
come on, you're just here and there.
Look, don't talk like that.
That's why I'm going to Denver. And that's what makes me an expert. So if you really want to blow it, Uncle Arthur, just go into that jail and start yelling at him.
Now loading at door 1, the scenic service to Denver with intermediate stops is ready for boarding at door number 1. All aboard, please.
Hey, Arthur,
Yeah, what?
you have a nice trip. And good luck with Wingate.
Yeah, I thought you were going to Denver.
Like I said, nobody listens. That includes me. I don't know.
Hey, pleasure meeting you. Thanks for the advice.
Sure.
Maybe we can give it a try. If they were not listening, well, so was I. We got a chance to make it if we can only take it this time. Oh, yeah. Oh, na, 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 na. We got a chance to make it if we can only take it this time.
So I'm bummed that there's not a cast listing with that film. It really needs one. And the reason why is because the black character, the father of Wingate, looks a lot like Vince Howard, who is a character actor who has been he plays a sheriff's deputy or police officer in Emergency, which is a 70s TV show that I've been watching a bunch of recently in the mornings while I'm answering emails and drinking coffee. And I'm like, oh my God, that's him. It's totally more his voice. That's what it, but there's no IMDb listing for Wingate, I love you. And so I don't know if it's him. But anyways, I love when that happens. Okay. One last film. This is going to go over, but so I don't know if you noticed, like at the end of that film, there was this kind of green blotch that was going up. And so that was a scratch, an emulsion scratch. And that is because it looked like the film was being perforated by the projector. So if it runs out of the gate or out of the track, sometimes there's gripping sprockets that will just kind of punch a hole. And this next film has an example of that. This is a fascinating film. This is from the 70s, McGraw-Hill. It's not Christian at all. And it's Adolescence, a case study. And you'll see that kind of, that one moved, This one kind of stays kind of close, at least initially, and you can feel it. Like when I threaded up the film on the scanner, I could feel the little bumps in the middle of the frame, and that's not good. You're not supposed to have that. So here's Adolescence, a case study. Let's learn a lot about adolescence. Enjoy.
Well, and I go back and forth a lot, change my mind. And my moon's in Pisces, and that means that I'm going to fall in love a lot.
This is Angie.
I don't mind that.
She's 17 years old. In the past few years, she's grown physically, and she's matured emotionally. At the same time, she's entered a new phase of mental development, one that's causing some changes in her life. At 17, Angie now finds herself asking why about things that in her earlier childhood she would have taken for granted. She's no longer inclined to accept things as they are. Instead, she's now able to think about how they might be, or how they should be.
School, I'm getting to the point where I don't like it anymore. You know, I'm getting good grades and stuff, but the whole idea of being locked up, I don't like the idea that you have to be there on time, you have to get out on time, certain time.
Hey, I just heard from Dangerous Dan.
I don't know.
You told me you kids ought to
My sister says I've got senioritis. That can't be because I'm only a junior.
Hurry up, we're late.
I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't know what time it was. My alarm clock broke, and I just didn't know what time. I'm sorry, guys. I don't even know what time it is. What time is it anyway?
It's time to go. We are late.
Sorry.
The other day, my boss asked me how long songs should be. I said, well, pretty much the same as short songs should be. Good. And if it's good you're looking for, this certainly is. It's staring the content, people. Sweet orphan lady.
Mental development in adolescence is rather different than that in the middle years. Angie and her friends are now capable of what psychologist Jean Piaget called formal operations. That means they think not only about things and events, but also about abstract concepts, ideas, relations, and assertions. Professor John Flavel of Stanford University.
The older child, the adolescent, is more capable, it seems, of thinking about things in general, asking himself or herself, well, you know, what if such and such were the case? Or let's suppose that such and such were the case. What would then follow from that imaginary state of affairs?
You can fly, you know, it only takes about an hour.
I'm sure. It costs $50 for both of us, that's that.
Well, Joe can afford it. Well, he asked you, would you go?
I don't know. I might.
What would happen if your parents found out?
Well, first of all, wouldn't let them find out. What would your sister say?
She'd probably get mad at first, but she couldn't say much because I know for a fact her and Gary used to take off like that before they were married.
So the child is able to engage in hypothetical thinking. He's able to set up hypotheses, in effect, and then imagine what consequences follow from those hypotheses.
God, if my dad found out, he's gonna punch Joe. He's always told me he would.
Piaget did a lot of research, and others have too, with children in this age period, and found that in many simple situations, at least, they were able to reason a little bit like a scientist reasons, by adopting a hypothesis, actually testing it out, trying to control variables to find out which variables affect an outcome and which variables do not, much in the same way that a scientist does. So sometimes Piaget's formal operational reasoning, as it's called in his theory, can be described as resembling scientific reasoning in a way.
Today, class, we're going to play a game. I'm going to be a Martian today. All right, now what I would like you to do is I would like all of you to think about the definition of a circle. Now, can anybody give me, in everyday terms, the definition of a circle? Anyone? Louise.
It's round, like a circle or a ball.
Okay, that's not clear enough. Now, as a Martian, if I didn't know what a circle was, I probably wouldn't know what round was.
In adolescence, the thinking skills that have been developed in the middle years expand and become more refined. In high school, the work becomes more theoretical in nature. Teenagers are challenged to use their new hypothetical or formal thinking skills.
Is that a circle? No. It is a close line, though, so we're getting closer, yeah.
Does it have anything to do with pi?
All right, now I said in everyday terms. Let's not get into mathematical definitions. Let's just define a circle in everyday words, okay? Something else. Now, we need to get clearer on this. I don't think some of you realize how important a circle is. Angie.
You have to establish a reference point within a closed line.
As far as the adolescent is concerned, much of what he encounters in his schoolwork is really a new form of abstraction. He's taught geometry, which then is a process of starting with some axioms and reasoning from these to certain conclusions, then testing and proving the conclusions. He can move on to trigonometry. He can move on to the study of physics, where he appreciates that the rules of physics are not real-life rules.
And but for ceremony, such a wretch, ending days with toil and nights with sleep, had the forehand and vantage of a king. Now, what do you think that Shakespeare was trying to
Adolescents
say
become
about
quite capable of understanding things that, in the middle years, would have been meaningless to them. They begin to think in symbolic terms.
Somebody's got to know. Barbara, what do you think Shakespeare was trying to say to us?
I think he was trying to say that kings don't have it any better than regular people.
All right, not bad.
During this period, teenagers start to talk about the meaning behind things. They start to experiment with expressing themselves, oftentimes through the arts, music, poetry.
A novelist is a poet who has failed.
I guess that a novelist takes a whole book to try to get the point across, and yet a poet just takes a few lines.
The advent of formal thinking skills doesn't mean, however, that each and every teenager suddenly turns into a poet-philosopher or a rocket scientist. Indeed, research has shown that the development of hypothetical thought occurs at different ages and to different degrees, depending on such variables as intellectual capacity and socioeconomic status.
And what is Dilloing me?
What we can say, however, is that adolescents, like most of us, focus their powers of thought on practical, day-to-day matters.
Angie? Angie, could you give me your attention for a second? Why do you think that Shakespeare...
The fact of the matter seems to be that when you look at real-life adolescents in their real-life situations, they're much more preoccupied with matters of the self, the presentation of the self, relations between the sexes, future vocations, values, and indeed, to ask them to perform intellectual tasks is almost like asking them to focus on something that is very remote and not part of their ordinary existence. It might even be not too radical a proposal to say that the high school years and the college years are a very poor time for formal education to take place.
If, as Dr. Church suggests, the adolescent period is a poor time for formal education to take place, it's ironic that the reason should be the development of new thinking skills. It is a fact, however, that mental development doesn't occur in a vacuum. It's completely intertwined with aspects of physical and personality development.
Oh, yes. God, you guys, look, Brenda Muller's wearing a dress.
It's about time that she's never wearing dresses.
No, she wore a dress just to wear one. I asked her if she wore it for a special reason. She said no. She's wearing it because she's...
Trying to impress somebody.
Yeah, she's trying to get... That's the only reason why. That was that.
Angie, like most teenagers, will concentrate her mental abilities towards things that most directly affect her.
Are we going to eat?
Interaction with friends, self-concept, relations with the opposite sex.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm very rude now. Bye.
Yet at the same time, Angie has a newfound ability to look at larger situations, to become intensely involved in issues that only remotely affect her. Such is the dichotomy of the teenager.
But the thing that I'm saying is these illegal aliens come up from the border and they take the jobs that should be had by Americans.
Take all what jobs?
The jobs that we have here that Americans could use.
The jobs that they have here are jobs that nobody wants anyways.
But we should take care of Americans who live here first, not aliens.
What do you mean aliens? You're an alien.
I'm not.
Where did your grandparents come?
They came from Germany, but so what?
Okay, Germany. We're Indians. We belong here, and probably even more than you.
I don't think so. We've lived here a long time. You've got Mexico anyway. That's your guys' country.
Yeah, well, what about the Statue of Liberty? Give us your tired and humble masses.
It's huddle masses, Barb.
Huddle masses.
What is the Statue of Liberty?
There is what is often referred to as personal fable involved in adolescent mental development. Angie is convinced that she is totally unique, that no one in the history of the world has ever felt as she does, ever loved so much, ever been so misunderstood, ever been so exquisitely sensitive to the injustices of modern society. Angie firmly believes this about herself, and each of her friends firmly believes the same about themselves.
Of course, I don't want to say that my girlfriend's dumb, but the other day she tried to overhaul the engine in her car by going through the ignition keyhole.
Another aspect of adolescent mental development is something that might best be described as teenage paranoia. For the first time, the adolescent is capable of thinking about what other people are thinking.
Makes you wonder who the shag across the gym floor, tear the crate paper off the walls. Bob Batamy, and he's singing 1,000
But I
miles
worry.
from the sun.
It's hard to pass a mirror without looking in it. But anyways, I think it's hard for anybody. I think it's hard not to. If I see something's wrong, my hair sticking up or something, it really upsets me because I think of all the people who have seen me that way. Like I pass by the mirror and I have lipstick smeared all over my mouth. I just think of how long it's been there and how many people have seen it and what they thought. Ooh.
One of the reasons that many teenagers are so self-conscious is because they often mistakenly assume that other people are as preoccupied with them as they are with themselves. Dr. John Flavel of Stanford University.
One of the interesting things about this, it seems to me, is that, say, the 7-year-old doesn't have that kind of semi-paranoid feeling, partly because he doesn't have the intellectual equipment to do it. It's only after you develop the ability to think about the thoughts of others and to imagine what they might be that you can get yourself into those kinds of hang-ups. So I think a lot of the self-consciousness of the adolescent and so forth could be thought of in a funny way as a result of his newly minted thinking skills. He's able to imagine for the first time how other people are thinking of him and regarding him. And therefore he can, as it were, he can get himself into new kinds of worries and anxieties that he wouldn't have had at age 5 or 6.
The reason that most teenagers believe that all eyes are on them is because they're still more or less egocentric. For all of their newfound adult thinking skills, they still retain the belief that the world orbits around them, pretty much the same attitude they had as infants. In a way, babies believe that other people exist to feed and care for them. Teenagers believe that other people exist to be an audience for them. And that's why it's important for every little hair to be in just the right place, because the audience is watching. This raises an interesting question. What happens when several adolescents get together?
What are we gonna do?
Bud, look, who's in the back with him?
What are we gonna do?
What happens when several teenage egos meet, each convinced that it's the real center of attention?
Hey, hold down. It looks like they're going past.
No. Oh, they're coming.
Turn around,
Don't
turn around.
You have guys.
In the bus, Bart.
Okay, here.
How embarrassing, you guys. Who's with them?
Well, look.
John's there, you guys. John.
So?
He's cute, you guys.
Oh, Louise, come on.
Can't
You ain't
see
John
much
with
of
a
them.
bunch of goonies.
Oh, shoot, they're coming.
Okay, just look around. Just around. Just turn around, look around.
Hey, you guys want to go for a ride?
Hi, Marty. Barbara.
Hey, we came to pick you up. What else?
Where are you guys going?
Anywhere you party or anywhere you want to go. Please get in here. What does that have to do with anything? Come on, be cool. Hey,
You guys wanna go to a party?
Bob's or somewhere.
Go to
Hey, come on,
Jack in the
Angie.
Box, no?
Come on.
No, it's all right. We just don't want to go.
Wait, go on. Party.
Yeah, we know what kind of parties you go to.
Hey, have you ever known me to do anything that wasn't right?
David Elkine observed that gatherings of adolescents are unique. Each is more concerned with being observed than with observing. Each is more concerned with being an actor than being an audience.
Hey, her boyfriend told us to come pick her up.
Along about 17, however, this lingering egocentrism usually begins to fade. Angie, for example, is beginning to realize that she's not the center of everything. For the first time, she's beginning to consider the possibility that it's she who must adapt to the world, and not the other way around. Her increased mental abilities are bringing with them increased perception, important insights into things that would have scarcely concerned her a few years ago.
Sometimes it seems more lately I get depressed. Like, kind of down. I mean, just listening to the news. I mean, God, we're really running out of everything in the world.
Teenagers suddenly have an infinite capacity for introspection, self-evaluation. Angie, like many adolescents her age, can take a good look around and ask, how do I fit in? What are my chances? What are my values? And how do they compare with the values of others? Abstract thinking allows Angie to place herself historically and to consider what might happen in the future. Sometimes the answers come easy, but most times they don't. The ability to love is a very important milestone on the way to maturity. The ability to give oneself to another without feeling personally threatened or diminished. To understand that there can be a close, intimate relationship that consists of three things: a you, a me, and an us. All three are separate, and all three are related.
Well, I don't think that means I'm going to spend the rest of my life with Al. I could, of course, but I don't think I will. I like being with him, because I trust him.
Angie is becoming an adult, slowly, obviously. Anyone who talks to her can recognize how sophisticated her thought processes have become. Indeed, her ability to formalize thought is the final stage in mental development. She will continue to learn, of course, but there will be no more qualitative leaps to improve her thinking processes. She is becoming an adult.
Are you ready for Christmas?
Huh?
Yep. What do you want to get for Christmas?
Clothes and pants and new shoes.
The same thing?
When she was 2 or 3, the world was much simpler for Angie. It was dominated by what she could touch, taste, see, and hear. She never reasoned things out beyond that. She was the center of everything, and what she needed or wanted, she got. Like her 3-year-old niece, Angie still has wants and needs. Unlike her niece, however, Angie now realizes that those wants and needs may not be automatically met. This final step in mental development is a bittersweet experience. On the one hand, Angie, like most teenagers, must come to grips with the fact that she is not the hub of the universe. She has wants and needs that may never be met. On the other hand, as her thought processes mature, she becomes much better able to think about her own identity, to form adult relationships with other people, and to determine how and where she fits into society.
Loca.
Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I don't know. Why is it every time we do this, you ask me the same question? I don't know what you want to hear. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I know who I am, but I don't know what you want to hear. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. Oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
that Pretty Things song, I See You, showed up, which showed up in A Case for Beer. And I think there's a film called, the title is One, which is about childcare, which also has it in there. So just add that to the list. Fascinating film. It's almost like a nature documentary made in the 70s. And certainly some of the ideas about adolescence have changed compared to now. And who brushes their hair, like, at a record store? Who, like, pulls out their brush? I can't remember if that was a thing, but anyways, thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope everybody has a great, restful, safe weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, and I will be around on Monday, and yeah. Anyways, it's always great to see you. Thank you, Jeremy, and everybody who contributed today. Other ways you can support us besides contributing via the Super Thanks button is to hit the thumbs up button, hit the like button. Even if you've done it recently, it's a great way to help get us to feed the algorithm, whatever. Another way you can help us is just by watching other films on our channel. We have over 10,000 videos on there. Most of them, well, I would say 1,400 are shows that we've done, or 1,300 are shows that we've done, but also there's other stuff that all these other films that we've been putting online. And Story of Lead is coming back with a vengeance. For some reason, everybody's watching Story of Lead for some reason. And also Story of Copper. I don't understand it. I really don't, but whatever. But yeah, maybe there's another film that you think is better that you should watch and recommend to your friends. But thanks again, and we will see you on Monday. Everybody take care and stuff.